Yo, what's going on YouTube? How you guys doing? We are back with another gameplay review video. These videos are really neat and I really enjoy doing them, and they used to be my main content, but I kind of took a break, but I'm back to doing them again. And I want to just say this at the beginning of the video instead of waiting to the end. I feel like a lot of people don't know how to submit for these. If you guys want to submit your footage for the sake of being reviewed, I have a channel on my Discord dedicated to this. If you guys join my Discord, it's linked below in the description. There is a channel called Gameplay Review Submissions. It's towards like the bottom of the text channels. You guys can drop a YouTube link to your video. Make sure that your video is good quality. Make sure the video quality is good and the audio quality is good. It can't be like painful to watch it, and make sure that it's not a 4K. I don't want good games. I want your bad games. I want your games where you lost. I don't want the games where you dominated. So feel free to submit if you guys want. I'm going to be trying to do these a little bit more, so hopefully we can get more of them out. And before I rant too much about it, let's just actually get into this review. So this video is a rank 14 Myers. He has like this overlay on the screen that like shows the buttons he push and like the mouse, and like this thing's like freaking out all the time. Like it's spazzing the fuck out. But I'm just gonna ignore it and we're just gonna play because I really want to review this anyway. I haven't done like very many Myers games, and I also haven't done very many like lower rank. I feel like most of the ones I do end up being like red ranks. So I definitely wanted to try this. Let's talk a little bit, first things first, about your build as well as your add-ons, which I guess is also your build. Let's just talk about your build. So you have Undying Ruin, which like already Undying Ruin is a great combo. Like this is a very good combo that you see ran on a lot of different killers. It's basically strong on every killer right now. You also compound this with it though. Retribution, which is very odd. Retribution is a perk where when someone cleanses a dull totem, they get hit with Oblivious for I think it's 60 seconds. And if anybody cleanses a hex totem, you see every survivor's aura for 10 seconds. Which is like, it's okay, but I'm really curious to know why you even bothered with this. I feel like in my head I would just want these two, because like for instance, I don't know, this is actually weird because it gives it turns like the chance of them finding Undying from a 1 in 2 to a 1 in 3, since there's 3 different hex perks. But also it's not that powerful. I feel like I would rather just have Ruin respawning all the time than like having Retribution respawning all the time, you know? I don't know. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. I definitely think you could have got a stronger perk in this slot, but also your last perk is Infectious Fright, and it's only tier 2, so maybe you just don't have that many perks. Like maybe you just don't have that many perks, and this was just the best of what you had. I don't know. This build isn't terrible. Infectious Fright's really good as well because you can snowball with it super well while you're in tier 3. So yeah, I mean this build definitely isn't too bad at all. Like you have like decent tracking with Infectious Fright and Retribution, and then you have game slowdown with, you know, Ruin and Dying. Your add-ons are also really good. You have J. Myers Memorial, which is like the add-on that makes it so you stalk people faster, which is just overall good. There's nothing bad possibly about that. And you have Hairbow, which is the green add-on that makes it so that the very first time you go into tier 3, it takes a little bit more stalking, but then your tier 3 lasts like a decent while longer. And then every other time you tier up, it takes the same amount as normal. So I would say that's probably one of his best. Like, this is probably like one of his best combination of add-ons, to be honest with you. It's a very, very good combination. So let's just see how the game goes. You spawn up, you're on Rancid Abattoir, and hey, somebody's got object. So free chase for you, I guess. You're gonna head on over if this dude sees you. Actually, he doesn't see you because you're undetectable. But I mean, he sees you now. He probably knew you were looking at him because of, you know, object, but all right, you're gonna stalk him for a bit. This is definitely good. Like you definitely want to get out of tier 1 as fast as possible, so this is smart. You also heard this gen being worked on behind you. Yep, this is really smart. So far you're playing this smart. Walk up here, try to get a grab, but it gave you a hit instead, which like, hey, it happens, you know, dedicated servers. What are you gonna do? This guy is still here for some reason. The Nancy's right beside him too. Just stalk either one or both. There you go, there you go. Getting that double suck. Getting that sweet, sweet double suck. All right, not bad. You chased him off. You're gonna come back and look for this dude that you injured. This is a bit of a risky play because if you can't find this guy, then you're gonna end up wasting a lot of time over here. So I'm not sure how much I like this. I maybe would have just stuck on those guys. Well, this dude's cleansing a totem now, so you can go get him. That works out too. Oh, go stop him from breaking it. Stop him from breaking it. Okay, he already got off it. But then there's a guy breaking that other totem, which is kind of monka. I feel like you're getting overwhelmed right now. There's just kind of a lot going on. I think you just need to like commit to something. You're gonna stalk her a bit. They're gonna break that totem. It was Retribution. So you see auras. You really should be looking around right now and seeing where everyone is. Like, retribution's good because it gives you information about where everyone is, but you're not really using that. Like, you're kind of just focusing on this Nancy. You can probably get to this guy. He breaks retribution again. Well, there's a dude in the basement. You kind of saw off to the side. This dude, you can still see this guy with with retribution. You pop your 2-3. Not bad. Not bad. They break retribution again. Holy shit! They broke retribution 3 times. What the hell? That's crazy. I mean, I guess that like makes retribution valuable, right? Okay, but like at the same time, I feel like you didn't get that much value out of it. Like I think you're about to. Okay, so they break it again. You're chasing this guy. You know there's a guy in basement. This dude goes for like some dumb slow vault play that you can clearly see because retribution. So actually, retribution helps you a lot right here. It gets you a down. You know someone's in basement, so you can go down. I don't like the way you went down those stairs. I feel like if she was running up the stairs like the perfect time, you might have not seen her just because of the way you dropped down. I would take a better angle, but I'm pretty sure she didn't go up. There would have been scratch marks. Looks like she's probably in a locker, so you got to just pick the locker and figure out which one she's in. Yeah, this annoying game of picking a locker and trying to figure out which one she's in, and there she is. All right, you're gonna down her. Leave one that you're gonna go back up for the bill, which is smart. That's really good. This is really good of you. A lot of people here would just pick up that Megan hooker. It's really good that you're going back up for the bill before he gets picked up. Ooh, he ran away. Just listen for him. We hear him. He's right there. Yes. Good. Now, if you really want to just like put this away, just hook him in the basement. Ooh, you almost got a down on that guy. Ah, man. Okay, so I'm just gonna throw this out there. Hypothetically, if you just wanted to win this game right now, like you would probably win this game literally right now if you just took that guy and hooked him down here. Like if he was down here in the basement, because Meg's down here too. So you could also hook her down here. Like they would both be hooked down here, and they would be like, oh god, what do we do? And you're a Myers, so like if anyone goes down, you could just pop your 2 or 3 and then kill everybody. You know. So you could have probably ended the game right now by just going to the basement. Although I don't blame you. This guy was playing like super cocky and you almost downed him. So not a bad idea. Even here, I don't know. You still have a lot of like it doesn't look like a lot, but because of Hairbow, you actually have a decent bit of time left in your tier 3. It might not have been a bad idea to chase that tap here. Like you like he's right here. Like he just turned this corner. You probably could have chased him. He didn't like, if anything, you could at least force down God Pallet. Like you could at least force him to throw one strong pallet before you give up the chase. Because he's got to play super safe because you're in tier 3. He can't really take any risks. So you either get the down or you at least force out a strong pallet or 2. This Meg wasn't getting picked up. Like she's deep in the basement, dude. She wasn't getting picked up. Because now, like, okay, here's the thing about Myers. Like with Myers, it's basically like you're not that strong, and then you get your power, and then you just get a lot of strength. You're like, holy shit, I am freaking jacked. Like Myers becomes like, he's got big bulging muscles, you know? He's like, oh, dude, I'm fucking ripped. All right, that's supposed to be a really strong arm, but I can't draw. He's like, God, I'm fucking ripped, dude. And you're supposed to just like get as much value as you can out of the tier 3, right? Like you don't want to have a lot of downtime in your tier 3. You want to make sure that you're getting as many downs and causing as much havoc and causing enough pressure. Like, look, you're still in tier 3 after picking up, hooking her, and then walking out. You could have maybe got a down on that guy had you chased him. I mean, that's not a terrible play. Don't get me wrong. Like, that's not like a huge game throw or anything, but it definitely is a place where you could have improved and got a little bit more map pressure. But you're chasing this dude now. Just going to stalk him, which isn't a terrible idea. I mean, again, you have really good add-ons for this. He's almost fully sucked, so he's still just doing circles. You can hear him piggy pounding. Giving him a little bit more of a suck. They're breaking your totem over there. I don't think you're going to be able to make that. Yeah, you're not going to make that. You shouldn't even bother trying. You shouldn't even bother trying. You're not going to make it. Well. Wow, you actually almost did make it. Why did that take so long? He must have started doing that like really late. Normally when like the totem fades away that quick, normally you don't have the time. Luckily they broke your Undying and not your Ruin because they already broke every other totem. The only totem left on the map is Ruin right now. They broke Retribution 3 times, which is freaking crazy. That guy's fully sucked, so you can't suck him anymore. You let him go for what? You're looking for the guy that got unhooked here? Maybe? You're not really, yeah, you're not really, I would have just chased that tap, I think. I mean, it's not a terrible idea to, like, look for the guy, but you kind of end up doing nothing now. Oh, and he's breaking your last totem. You're going to try to stop him, which is probably the right move. You do get him off, which is good. But now he knows where your totem is, so you kind of got to chase him. Like, I think you have to chase him. If you leave him alone, he's just going to break your ruin, like, at any point. All right. You get blinded, you lose track of him a little bit. I will say that's something you can do while blinded. The pallet respect, man. The pallet respect. All right, I'm gonna let this play out a minute, and then I'm gonna rewind, and we're gonna talk about a little bit about what's happening. Man, your play around pallets is not great. All right, you're getting close to him. That was good. That was much better. That guy is fast. That guy, like, feels like he's fast somehow. I don't know how, but it feels like you're not getting that much distance on him. But here, let me back up and talk about some things, okay? First off, when you get blinded, a really good thing to do is listen for footsteps. A lot of the time that you can hear, like the footsteps of people running. But if you can't do that, a really good thing to do is to just, like, walk forward and then... Like, okay, like, you can either guess and predict them. Like, if they're a really predictable survivor and you think they're and like you think they're that they're gonna just run away, you can do that. But a lot of survivors will do this thing where they'll blind you, and while you're blind, they'll, like, walk past you, and you got to kind of watch for that. So it's best to listen. But if you can't listen, what I usually do is I walk forward and then I turn around. And then when the blind wears off, I just see where the scratch marks are leading, essentially. It seems like you kind of, like, go off to the side. Like, it's hard to tell, but it looks like you go to the left. Yeah, you head, like, way off to the left. I guess you were just trying to predict them, which it didn't go terribly. And then the pallet play here is just not great. Like, you respect the shit out of this. You, like, back up. Like, you back that ass up. Like, you are like, terrified of that pallet. Which, I mean, to be fair, it's okay to do every once in a while, but, like, it really does cost you here. It gives them a ton of distance. You try to, like, moonwalk back, which is a good try. Like, it's good that you're trying moonwalks and stuff, but... This dude just ended up getting a ton of... And even, like, right here, you could have made a play. This side of the wall is really bad. Like, if anyone ever goes behind this wall, you're basically in full control. Like, you can go stand by the pallet, and then, like, if you're at the pallet, you're basically in control. Like, you can kind of, like, moonwalk, mind game, and force him into a bad position. You kind of just, like, hold W against him. Like, you kind of just hold W and just kind of let him get to the pallet. And even then, like, he doesn't even need to drop it because you swing... like, too late or too early. By the way, you're chasing him again, so regardless, it doesn't matter too much. You go through this pallet, you catch up to him, you get a hit here on the window, and then where does he go? You're just gonna leave him? Just gonna leave him, huh? You find this Nancy, you can stalk her. Yeah, get tier 3, down her. I would go right back for him. He's gonna go get that totem. He's gonna go get that totem. I don't know if I like this. He's gonna be breaking that. Yeah, he's already breaking that totem. I would have went right back for him. You know that guy is just gonna get right on your totem the second you walk away from him. He probably has it too, because he got on it right away. If I were you, I would have slugged there. Like that tap is very clearly he's very clearly like a kind of cocky player, right? Like he's not scared, right? Like he wasn't like throwing pallets and shit unless he absolutely had to. He definitely wasn't like a scared player. Like I don't want to say cocky. I should more say confident. So the fact that you walked away from him and he knew that that was where your ruin totem was after they already broke like 5 different, well, they literally broke 4 hex totems. So that was clearly your last one. And, you know, he probably saw it ruin on his screen. He knew that was ruin. So he very clearly was going to go back to that. I don't really like the fact that you like down that Nancy and then you kind of just let him have it. Like you can definitely just, it's kind of one of those game sense things where you just know he's going to go for it. So I think you should have slugged her and then went back. Just to clarify, in case anyone's watching and they don't know what slugging means, slugging, like to slug somebody means to leave them on the ground. Because when you leave them on the ground, they're like on the ground and they're like, oh, I'm dying. Oh, and they're also bleeding everywhere. They're like, oh, this is all blood. And like when they crawl, they like leave a trail of blood and it kind of looks like a slug. Like it kind of looks like a human slug. So if you ever hear someone say slugging, that's what they mean. Just in case you don't know. Anyway, though, let's carry on. Again, that's not too big of a deal. Like losing your ruin isn't the end of the world. Interesting. You're going for mind games here. Very interesting. I don't like the way you're like, okay, Okay, I do want to say that I like that you're going for mind games. I like that you're trying things. Like, this is definitely better than not trying things, right? Like, this is definitely much better than just holding W and just like letting yourself get pallets on. Like, I'm glad that you're trying things. And this is a wall that's like this wall right here is small enough that you can get hits. Like, you can absolutely get hits on this wall. It's not a safe wall. But the way that you're going about it is a little bit wrong. Like, for instance, right here, you're like you're showing your red light this way. You're like, there's a red light this way, right? So you're like showing this direction, which means that you'd think you would go that direction, as like, you know, that's the whole point. You're like showing one direction, then you go another, like you would think. But then you kind of like, well, okay, you do, but you turn your camera a little bit too fast. And even right there, like I think you almost would have had a hit, wouldn't you? Like, it was really close. And even right there, like you're turning your camera a little bit too early. I think that's the major issue. Like right here, like you turn your camera into him and then he gets a head start. If you wait to turn your camera, if you back up and turn your camera a little bit later, I think he gets a lot less distance here. And also same with right here. Like you you back up here, don't turn your camera. Keep backing up. Like keep your camera facing this direction and like this direction, right? Like if we watch, you turn like right there, and that gives them like a big head start. It might not seem like much, but like the fact that you're facing this direction, like if you were facing the other direction right now, he still wouldn't know you were coming, right? Like you have a big red light that's like right here. And if you were facing the other direction, he wouldn't know that you were coming until you pass this wall. Like you would have to pass this wall and then he would know you're coming. But the fact that you turn and face this direction means that he knows you're coming, and he gets a big head start, which is why you don't catch him there. And you, even right there, you like, it's really weird because you're still like committing to like the direction that you're facing. This was almost a good play. You backed up. Had you turned your camera right here, had you turned your camera around and faced the other way and then moonwalked backwards and hit your red light, you would have got a hit because he was in a pretty bad position. But he just got a little bit of a head start. Like he just gets a little bit of a head start every time because you're letting your red, like you're pretty much always letting your red light turn the corner before you do. Like you want to moonwalk around the corner, so the first thing that they see is your body and not your red light. If they see your red light for even a second before they see your body, then that's a second head start they get, and that's why you didn't get the hit there. Like, again, I like that you're trying things. I know you're only ranked 14, so like I don't think that you're like super experienced at the game. And the fact that you're trying things is really fucking good. Like you're already like the fact that you're experimenting and trying things means that you're gonna get better than like the average low rank killer already. And this is a really good idea to slug here. You're doing really good. So let's back it up. Like how'd you actually catch this guy? I was kind of in the middle of talking. All right, looks like he was just coming around. Why his routing is so weird? Why would he go over there? All right, I mean, yeah, he plays this really weird. Like, he runs that tile really weird. He doesn't really do that very well, and you, like, read him perfectly. Like, you knew exactly what he was going to do, and your movement was perfect. That was a really good play. You come over here to this unhook, and you down the guy that gets the unhook, which is also great. You got a ton of information on Infectious Fright. And honestly, again, it wouldn't be a bad idea here to literally just keep slugging. Like, okay. Like right now, you know that there's a guy back there. You know that there's a guy directly under your feet. You know that there's a guy there and there's a guy there. That's all 4 survivors, right? And on top of that, you also know that this yell is this Nancy, and she's like running away, like she's scared. She's like, holy fuck, there's a Myers and he's got a screwdriver and he's gonna kill me. Like she's out of here. You know what I mean? Which means the last full health guy is right here. It wouldn't be crazy for you to use this last little bit of tier 3 to go see if you can get one last down on this guy. That wouldn't be crazy. It's not like you have to worry about this other guy getting picked up, you know? Like, you know that both the other 2 teammates are over here. Like, if you didn't know this, like if you didn't know where the 4th teammate was and he might be off to the side, like going for the heal, then yeah, it would be bad. But the fact that you know where everyone is, the information here is so useful. You could slug here. Like, you can slug both of these guys. Again, it would be like a big risk reward thing, so it's not crazy for you to not do it. Like, this isn't a bad play either. And I mean, there you go. The Nancy comes right back for the heal anyway, so never mind. The risk might not have been worth it since she went right back. She shouldn't get that. She did get that heal. I think that guy has Unbreakable because that heal was quick. Oh man, that's such a bummer. She got a really good fast vault there. That was a less good fast vault. You down her. You should leave her on the ground. Leave her on the ground. She probably has DS. Don't pick her up. Do not pick her up. Like, with how, like, confident she played that, don't pick her up. I'm pretty sure she has DS. Don't do it. No, 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 no. I think you're going to get DS'd. Wow, you didn't get DS'd. Woo, that's pretty lucky. I'm going to be honest, that's super lucky. With how, like, ballsy she played that, I thought for sure she was going to have DS. So that was pretty scary. That was pretty spooky. I'm going to be honest. You find all of them over here, though. You get some stock in. You really shouldn't commit to that too hard, though. Yeah. You can chase this guy away over here. He already used this pallet, I believe, so you should get a free hit here. He's just going to run away from the hook. You get a free hit on him, which is good. He's going to run back into this jungle gym. There's gens popping all over the map, though. Like, I think the amount of time you spent chasing this guy has been very, like, detrimental to, like, how this has played. He's going to get the unhook, though. You can come down him. I think you're just going to hook him, right? Which isn't a bad idea. Like, there are people around, but you can't really, like... I don't think you're going to get anybody down super quickly. All right, you come over, you find her, you can stalk her. Okay, I think what you need to do here... Okay, they're getting the unhook, too. What you need to do here is you need to get your tier 3, and then you need to snowball map pressure like crazy. Don't bother going for the tap. Don't bother going for the tap. He probably has borrowed time. It was a build that unhooked him. He probably has borrowed time. You down the Nancy. Good, good, good. Leave her on the ground. See, like, your decision making is pretty good. Like, the fact that you know to, like, slug in these situations, the fact that you're, like, trying moonwalks in different mind games makes me feel, like, pretty good about your, like, decision making and, like, your at least, like, knowledge of the game. It just feels like your chases need a little, like, even right here, I don't like this. I don't like this play. She is on death hook, actually, so this isn't a terrible play. I take it back. I take it back. I just remembered that she's on death hook, so that's actually an okay play. She's dead now. You don't got to worry about it. That's one person out of the game. So that makes that a lot less terrible of a play. Because you did waste a little bit of time in your tier 3 doing it, but you get someone out of the match. So, like, worth it, you know? And this is where, like, no tracking perks suck, you know? This is where it sucks only having, like, infectious as a tracking perk. Because if you can't find anybody now, it's hard to, like, it's hard to just find someone. Well, that dude has... There's a dude right to your right. Are you not going to fuck with that guy to your right? He was in a pretty bad spot. I think you could have downed him. Instead, you go to this Meg who's out of pallet. I'm going to back this up. This was a questionable decision. So, like, this might be just, like, a lack of game knowledge, but, like, where this dude is right now, there's not really anything there. Like, there's a building there, and even the front of that building has, like, one pallet, and it's super weak. He's not really in a very safe spot. Like, that guy's in a pretty dangerous area. And this Meg is running, like, right to a pallet, like a really safe pallet at that. So I think this was a really bad decision on who to chase. Maybe you're just like maybe you are just kind of like feeling like you shouldn't chase that tap because of how like well he did against you earlier. Like maybe you're feeling like it's a waste of time to chase him because he's a pretty good survivor, which, don't get me wrong, is pretty fair. Like, I think it is smart to leave good survivors alone, but in this particular instance, I feel like he was in a bad spot. Like, I feel like even if a survivor is super good, if they're in a bad spot, you kill those motherfuckers, you know? You kill them. Like, chasing a good survivor in a bad spot is still better than a bad survivor in a good spot, you know? All right, regardless, though, you know, you do make the decision to chase this Meg, so let's see how it goes. You do hear, like, the pitter-patter of her footsteps there. You maybe could have, like, tried to make, like, a moonwalk play or something happen there if you, like, were a little bit better at tracking her by her footsteps. You heard her to the right? Well, you heard somebody to the right, and it was this guy. Hey, check it out. Get a free down on him. Your tier 3 is about to run out, so you should just pick him up. This is not worth slugging. Like, you should just pick him up. Your tier 3 is about to run out in any second. Like, you're not going to catch her in time. I don't like this decision. I don't like the decision to leave him on the ground right here. Okay, well, I think you're just getting a hit, right? Please tell me that you're just going to get a hit and then go pick him up, right? Right? You're going to go pick him up now, right? Yeah. Yeah, that was really unfortunate. He had both Unbreakable and Adrenaline is what happened there. Like, I knew he had Unbreakable from before. Like, that might just be me being like a turbo nerd, and maybe I shouldn't expect everyone else to know that, but like when you slugged him earlier and then the Nancy ran over to pick him up, he got picked up so fast that the only way he could have got picked up that fast is if he had Unbreakable. So you slugged him when he had Unbreakable for sure. And then on top of that, he had Adrenaline, and it was like perfectly timed. Like, he picked himself up with Unbreakable, and then he immediately got Adrenaline, and he was just out of there, which is just really fucking unlucky. I think you should have hooked him immediately, to be honest with you. Like, your tier 3 was about to run out. You weren't going to down this Meg fast enough to get back to him anyway. Like, you maybe could have got one hit on her and then left her alone, but even that, like, isn't really that worth in the end. You end up downing her, though, and picking her up. He goes for the flashlight, almost gets it. I was gonna say this guy's been running around with the flashlights. You kind of got to be careful like where you pick people up. But hey, you know, you still got it. You still got it. It's all right. You still got it. We're gonna take him to the Halloween hook, the fancy Halloween hook, get some extra blood points. And I'm guessing the other two are just gonna get out now, right? Because he's dead on hook. Pretty sure the other two are just gonna get out of here, and that's gonna be the end of the game, I think. Well, or is it? No, yeah, I think so. I think Tab is going back to the other hook, right? Yeah, the other door. Yeah, they're both there. I'm almost positive that yeah, he's just at the door. Oh, you're moonwalking for him. You gotta love one of Myers moonwalks. I think you have to hold stock. I think if you hold stock, you'll actually moonwalk. Like you'll actually like look like you're moonwalking. Well, GG's. I mean, that's just kind of how it goes. That's kind of how she goes, boys. Did you pip at least? You did pip, which is good because I do think you played this. I do think you played this map well, to be honest with you. Like I think it was a well played game. Of course, the survivor has to be a cocky douchebag because he's rank 16 with like the most meta build in the world, probably on a fucking alt account, rank 16 with all like the most meta build in the world. This fucking guy. People like him are the worst. Anyway, as far as like where you actually messed up this game, there wasn't like a lot of major mistakes. I feel like it was just like your chases needed to be a little bit better. Like, again, I do think like this situation in the basement, you didn't make any like major game throws. Like, I'll say that much. Like there wasn't any point in this game where I was like, holy shit, man, you had the win right there. All you had to do was do this. And then you did that. And then you blew the whole thing. Like that never really happened. You kind of just had like a couple minor mistakes here and there. And they weren't really that big of a deal, to be honest. Like the first one I can think of is like the basement situation, where again I feel like if you really wanted to win, you could have like hooked both the people in the basement. Like you go down and you down her, and then you come back up for this bill, and like you could have hooked them both in the basement, but you didn't. You like carry this bill far away. Like this Tab goes for a flashlight, and you almost down him, which like. I get. And I mean, after that swing, you maybe can't make it to the basement anyway. So like maybe that's not like maybe this is a little bit irrelevant. Like I think you could have made it to the basement if you hadn't swung at that. But I mean, I don't blame you for swinging at it. You kind of have to go for it. So maybe after missing that swing, you can't make it to the basement anyway. But even here, like you still could have chased him around here too. Like you had a ton of pressure here. Like you had a guy on a hook, you had a guy down to the basement. You could have been chasing this third guy, which would have forced this fourth guy to get off gens, which is good because you have ruin. So forcing people to get off gens is really, really good. And I think you could have like really taken advantage of how much pressure you had here, but you kind of just like go to the basement and you let these guys get the unhook, and then you kind of just like let them fully recover while you hook her in basement, which I just don't know. Like I feel like you should have taken more advantage of that, to be honest with you. All right, and the only other thing I want to say is, again, like these are barely mistakes, especially considering that you're rank 14. If you're like a true rank 14, which I feel like you play better than a rank 14. I don't know like what the deal is with the ranks here, but I feel like the only other thing I can tell you is that your chase game could definitely be a little bit better. Like another game changer could have been you catching this guy quicker. It kind of took you a very long time to catch this guy every time you chased him. Like he kind of led you on really long chases every single time you ran into him. And like, for instance, situations like right here, again, I talked about this in like the heat of the moment, but like this is a position right here where you get a hit. A good killer gets a hit right here. Like it doesn't matter how good the survivor is. He just ran to a bad area. Like this is an unsafe spot. If you play this correctly, you get a hit here like every single time. But instead of like going for any mind games, you kind of just hold W and then like don't do anything, and then he makes it, you know, and then he doesn't get hit, which is like, hello, you know. And this happens again right here. It's like the same situation where like he's in a bad spot, right? And like at least here you go for mind games. Like I respect the fact that you're at least going for mind games here. You're just not quite doing the right mind games, right? Like he's playing it really well. Like don't get me wrong, I don't want to take anything away from that. Like he's playing it really well, and you basically have to play it perfect yourself to counter it because he's playing so well. But you definitely could have got a hit there. Like there was two different situations where you could have got a hit and you didn't. And it might not sound like a big deal, but getting a hit in those situations is the difference between this chase lasting, I don't know, 30 seconds and lasting like a minute and a half, you know? And like the whole time that you're chasing them, people on the map are doing gens. Like gens are popping the whole time, you know? If you catch that guy faster, this game could go entirely different. You know, it could be an entirely different game had you caught that guy quicker. And the last major throw, I think, is right here where you knew this guy was going for your totem and you got one hit on him and then you're like, oh, a Nancy. Ooh, a Nancy. Ooh, fancy, a Nancy. And then you down her. And then instead of slugging her and going to defend your totem, like you absolutely should just leave her on the ground here. Like your ruin is huge. It's a huge part of like your build. And it's basically your last perk at this point. Like, I mean, it's your last perk aside from infectious. So like if you let him take this perk, then you're basically a 1 perk killer. Like keeping ruin up is really good. Had you gone back and chased that tap and then downed him, this game could have been way different. Because again, if you go chase him right now, then that means that these other survivors need to get off gens to come get this Nancy. If you down them quick enough, you might even be able to get both of them off gens. And then while they're off gens, Ruin's kicking in and regressing them all. And then all the gens get reset back to 0. And then you're a happy killer, you know? But you kind of just pick her up and you like take the time to hook her. And during this time that you're hooking her, he's just doing your totem. And you kind of just let him have it. And yeah, again, it's very minor mistakes though. I will say you overall played like really well. Like you really did. Like you played this match really, really well. That tap was definitely like a smurf or something. Like that motherfucker is not rank 16, you know? Like rank 16 is like, that's like new survivors, you know? Like if you're rank 16, you should have like less than 100 hours in the game and shit, you know? Like that guy very clearly does not belong in that rank, which is so unfortunate. I feel so bad for all the like low rank killers that have to deal with this shit, especially because they like talk shit in the post game chat, which is just like, imagine like playing at a rank that you very clearly don't belong in, and then like running the most sweaty shit in the world, and then also shit talking killers that you get that are probably relatively newer to the game. Like, come on, dude. It's just so gross to see that kind of shit, honestly. And I feel bad for the new players that have to deal with that, but that honestly is a big reason why this game was lost. You spent a lot of time chasing him, and it took a long time to catch him, and his teammates were also competent, and they did gens. I think overall, though, given the fact that realistically, you can probably replace this with a number 1. Like, this guy was rank 1, right? And then if we look at all these other ranks as being accurate, this is a pretty mismatched mate, like a mismatch. What the word I'm looking for? A bad match made game. Like you're 14, they're like 1, 6, 9, and then there's one that's close to you at 16, right? Like their average rank is probably like what? Like, I don't know, like 7 or some shit. I don't know. Fucking quick math. It's probably something really low though. So considering like how badly you were outmatched as far as ranks, you did really good. You got 30k blood points, you got 2 kills. You were close to having more if it wasn't for all this guy's fucking second chance perks that he used at the very end. So overall, honestly, there's not really much to critique here. You did really, really well. It's very unfortunate that you know, his unbreakable adrenaline kicked in at like the perfect moment. And there definitely was some opportunities for you to play better, but overall you played really well. I don't think I have much else to say here without going in circles. So I think I'm just going to end the video here. Thank you so much for submitting. I appreciate it. It was really fun to review this. If you guys like this, remember to leave it a like. It helps me and it helps me get this video out there to more people and get more people to my channel. Sub to the channel as well, because I'm going to be uploading daily, if not every other day. I don't want to say daily because lately I've been getting really busy. So I'm going to upload every other day, and sometimes it'll be daily if I have the time. So I'm going to upload as much as I can, but at the very least, it'll be every other day. Sub to the channel as well. I already said that. And also stop by my Twitch stream. I'm live every night, 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. Eastern, except for Saturday. I'm live every night, 6 nights a week, chilling, hanging out, having a good time. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys have a good one, and I will see you guys later. I'm out of here. See ya. Take care. See ya. I'm out of here. See ya. See you later. See ya.